All right, guys, today you're going to be doing some of the practice for circumference. So go to the 4th 9 weeks folder and then click on circles. On Friday, you should have done the circle circumference notes if you didn't do that today, and then the practice. You just have to do level 1. Right now, we're going to click on the circumference PowerPoint. Obviously, my video will be right in here, but obviously I haven't put it there yet. So click on that circumference PowerPoint, and you should get this PowerPoint opened up. First, it goes through some of the, here's the radius, here's the diameter, here's what the circumference mean, here's some examples. The first thing we're going to do is try and find the diameter and circumference of these rims on this car. And the only thing we know is that the radius is 12 inches. So in your notebook, we're going to write that that RDC. Remember, we drew it in a box on Friday. We've got R, D, and C. And this time we know that the radius is 12 inches, I'm pretty sure. Yep. All right. Remember, if we're talking about a circle, my nemesis, here we go. There we go. With a radius, we're talking about from the center to the edge, close enough, is 12 inches. Remember, that's the radius. Change it to red. Is that red? Yeah. Okay. So you got our radius, which is 12 inches. So then when we're looking for the diameter, remember diameter was all the way across. So if this part over here is 12 inches, this over here is another 12 inches, making the diameter 24 inches. Now, we did this quickly on Friday, but I want to make sure everybody got it. We have this formula on your formula chart. There's actually 2 formulas, but this is the one I always try and use because it has the radius, and that will really help you when we get to area, is always using the radius. Now, I go ahead and always find the radius and diameter so we can make sure we have the one we think we have. So what we're going to do is just fill this in like we were before on our volume formulas. So we're going to bring down the C because we don't know what circumference is, bring down your 2, bring down your cute little pi, and then we're going to plug in the value of the radius. The radius, remember, over here was 12 inches. So we're going to plug in our, I'm going to put times 12 so we don't forget this is all meaning multiply. Okay, so we have, so far, we have 2 times pi times 12. So we are going to be good children, and we're going to save our pi for last. So I'm going to write that here, save pi. This is how you spell this kind of pi for last. Like if you were at Thanksgiving dinner and your grandma had made pie, she doesn't let you eat that first thing, right? That's after dinner. You got to eat your turkey, got to eat your green beans, got to eat your cornbread, and what else do we eat? Sweet potato pie. But that's, for some reason, that counts as a vegetable, even though it's got marshmallows on top. I don't know. But your apple pie, your pecan pie, your pumpkin pie, all that's got to go last. So we're going to save our pi for last, meaning we're going to do the 2 and the 12 and save that pi for last. All right, so we're next going to do that 2 times 12 gives us 24. Put your little pi. Now remember, pi stands for 3.14. You saw me on Friday do the shortcut and just multiply by 3. I'm going to do that again because I'm going to do my little thought bubble. I'm thinking in my head that circumference is 24 times 3. Because most of the time your answer choices are far enough apart that this works and gets you a good enough answer for you to guess which one it is. So let's do that real quick. 12, 6, 72. Okay. So we know our circumference is about 72. It's not exactly 72 because technically we need to use 3.14. So then we will also do that for one like this, that it's bubble in your answer practically. You would need to use 3.14. And on that practice, remember this practice over here in Schoology, that practice for today, it makes you use 3.14 as well. So times 3.14. All right, this seems to be a problem in general just for people trying to multiply by that decimal. I'm going to give myself some space over here. Oh, I still have it. Nope, pencil. Well, how did I not have it? I don't know. All right, I put the longer number on top, so I'm going to put 3.14 on top and 24 on the bottom. Remember, when you're multiplying with a decimal, you just ignore the decimal to start. So you pretend like it doesn't even exist, and you just multiply normally. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 1, 4, plus 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. Don't forget your place value 0 on the next line, because now we're multiplying by 20, not just 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And then we're just going to add that together. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, 5, and 7. Now, the last thing you do is count how many decimal places. Notice there's none right here. So we're just going to count the 1, 2 that was in 3.14. Start at the end and go 1. Oops. Do it right for everybody. Here we go. 1, 2. So our answer is 75.36. Notice that's really close to 72. And we're going to put that over here in our little box. 75.36 inches. Regular inches, because this is just a linear measurement. It's not area. It's not volume. It's just regular inches. The reason you might need this use the actual decimals is if it's a bubble answer, if it's like that practice I showed you, they really want you to use the 3.14. But I wouldn't hesitate if it was multiple choice to try this first and see if it's close enough to the answer choices, because that's so much easier. Notice it also gave us a good knowledge, like if we got this 7,000, we forgot the decimal, we would know that it should be close to 72 and know to move that decimal over 2 places. Dealing with those decimals can get you in trouble sometimes. So it's nice to have a clue what it's supposed to be close to. All right, so now let's try the next one. So you can go back to your PowerPoint and let's go to that next slide. This time they gave us the diameter of this cute little pink bug. How fun is that? So now we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to start with the diameter. So I'm just going to move down. All right, so let's draw our box again. We need our radius, our diameter, and our circumference. So now let's draw the circle. You know that's my favorite part. Here we go. And this time they gave us the diameter. So I'm going to put it in blue. The diameter goes all the way across through the center. And it said the diameter was 10. 10 inches? Inches. A little bitty car. All right, so if we know our diameter is 10, our radius is from the center to the edge. So if this whole thing is 10, that really means this part's 5 and this part's 5. So our radius is 5 inches. Okay. So now to find our circumference, we're going to write down our circumference formula. Remember, there's more than one, but I always stick with the same one. That way I don't have to remember which one do I multiply by 2, which one do I not. And making sure that you're using the radius every time will really help you when we get to area. So this is our radius, remember, so we're plugging in that 5 inches. So C equals 2, wrong, 2 pi, and then the radius was 5, so times 5. Remember, this is where we save our pi for last. Come on, there we go. Save, whoa, save pi for last. And I'm going to tell you one more thing after we do this next step, because there's one other way they like to ask you for your answer. So 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down your pi. This answer right here is actually, they call it in terms of pi. So sometimes they'll say, what's the circumference in terms of pi? And what that really means is you don't have to multiply this. You can just stop there. So remember, we're going to do our little thought bubble. C equals 10 times 3. So C equals, I can do that one in my head, 30. So then the last thing you have to do is 10 times 3.14. Put your place value 0, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And our circumference is